So they just get, they're just not strong-hearted. There are others who are really courageous. Now what I want to say to you is that with regards to the unseen world and jinns and sihr or black magic, whatever it is, there are the people that get affected first are of some kind. Number one, they might be the weak-hearted, or the one with the weak willpower, the one with the weak aqidah. Number two, the one with the weak actions of the deen. So somebody who's not practicing the deen, someone who's not practicing the deen, and they're away from the deen, they are susceptible to be affected. They can be affected. But mostly from those people who are not practicing, the people who stay in impurity. This is another important aspect I'm saying. People who stay in impurity. So a person sleeps with his wife, or na'udhu billah, sleeps with a woman he's not supposed to sleep with, and they basically are in a state of janaba. They're supposed to have a ritual bath and cleanse their whole body through having a proper bath, and they don't do that. Now they are asking, shayateen, come, be with me. Okay? Now shaitan, wherever you are, come, be with me. Because shaitan has no reason to be away from them. You can read Quran at that time, your Quran is not going to be accepted. Women on their menses, it's an impure state, and they should basically, it's not just because they're on the menses. If they're praying before their menses, if they're always praying after their menses, if they are observing the hijab that normally are practicing women, that doesn't matter. But a woman who doesn't practice, and then a woman who's on her menses, she's basically now in some form of weakness. She's now prone to I'm not saying she's going to get attacked straight away. Please don't get the message wrong, alright? But I'm saying that she is weak. Now there's weaknesses. Now the weaker you become, the stronger you see your opponent, and the more you basically can be prone to some kind of attack. In terms of najasa or impurity, there is keeping the fingernails long and having a lot of dirt underneath it, to not clean the unwanted hair off the body, around the private parts, under the armpits, not doing that for more than 40 days. Person becomes prone to that. A person who doesn't really live with cleanliness like a Muslim should, they're basically showing weakness. Now we're not saying something's going to attack them, but it's almost like your immune system. If winter's arriving, a lot of you, I'm seeing you'll have cardigans, you'll have something thick to wear. Unless, of course, you're a hot person. Some people, they're hot anyway. Some people, I haven't seen them. I saw the other day, I was freezing, and there's a guy who's, he's a little white boy. He's basically got his whole body uncovered. From the waist down he's covered with trousers, but the whole body is uncovered. He's in 11 degrees, and he's got a bike, and he's basically just biking down, and I think, well, Allah's created some people like that. They don't feel the cold. There's others who will feel the cold really easily. Now the same thing with the unseen world and some of the, ghoulies that are out there. Your weakness is key to what actually happens. Weakness of belief or weakness of, whatever. It's an immune system. We've all got an immune system. Now, to boost your immune system, what do you do in the normal world? Because this is how literally you've got to see it. If you're basically catching a cold, you've got to boost your immune system. Now naturally, if you eat properly, if you rest properly, your immune system is going to be high. But if you're not doing that, if you're not eating properly, if you're not sleeping properly, immune system is weak. And then you go out, without protecting yourself properly, and the cold catches you, then you get a flu, alright? Or you catch a cold. Now, it doesn't matter, it's not the end of the world. You catch a cold, and then what happens after that? Well, if you're a young man, you can just sweat it off. If you're a young man, you can sweat it off. You don't have to bother too much. If you're a little bit older, maybe, a few lemsips, whatever, get some ginger, whatever, lemon, this and that, paracetamol, no. A few mornings, whatever, then you sort of, burn it off. But if you're already, you've got a weak body, or you're old, then you might be looking at some serious sort of 2 weeks in bed, 3 weeks in bed, just for a simple cold or a simple flu, and you can't shake it off, or you're having difficulty shaking off. Why is that? It's all to do with the different strengths that are playing with one another. Now, with this thing about yourself, myself, and the unseen world, and what the creatures that Allah has created in the unseen world, firstly, there's not going to be, I don't want everyone to think that out there, my God, I better, oh my God, I've got long nails, quickly cut them. I don't want you to start thinking, like that straight away. But what I want to say to you is that it's a case of two different strengths. Two different strengths. If your immune system is high, and the kind of cold that you've caught the cold that you've got is low, then it's really not going to have much effect. But if your immune system is low, and the type of thing that you've caught is high, right, it's going to affect you. Now you could have a strong immune system, but you might get something which is really tough. It's not a cold. It might be some kind of real serious illness. It might be TB. Now, if someone's got a good, strong immune system, but you get TB, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect you. And you're going to have to do something strong to shake that off. Yes or no, brothers? Yep, you're going to have to stay in hospital, you're going to have to take several tablets throughout the whole of the year, and you're going to have to shake it off. Now, look at the seriousness of TB. It's not a small case. It's a serious disease that people can die with. So now you can understand, from this world of jinns and sihr and so on, there is a strength within themselves. There's weak jinns, there's strong jinns. There's weak black magic, there's strong black magic. There's weak things out there, there's strong things out there. And it depends on what's coming in contact. Now, the number one rule is that jinns, or the whatever Allah has created in terms of the world of jinns, they're not supposed to cross over into our world.